Before we start, 2 things to know about me. 1, I don't think I'm allowed to call myself a minimalist. I've collected a bit too much stuff to earn that title. And 2, I'm far from an expert on money and finance. My degree is for film, which means all that I did for 4 years was watch 2 movies per week. But in the downward spiral of my postgrad years, I've gained an appreciation for the mental approach of minimalism and intentionalism, and I became interested in looking at money in the same way that minimalists look at anything, having enough to satisfy your needs without stress or distraction. A few years ago, you could say I was too minimalist when it came to money. I didn't want a credit card, I never wanted to hold cash, I hated having student loans, and I had no plans at ever getting into investing. I wanted to see all my money in one account, pay everything with my debit card, and know exactly how much money I had to my name at any moment. Even that jar of quarters under my bed would drive me crazy because it wasn't counted into that one big number. Well, not a big number, but you get what I mean. After working a full-time job, having more financial responsibilities, and freaking out for the millionth time over a pending transaction, I finally accepted that wealth will always be fluid, and that maybe there was a better way to maximize what I make, minimize what I spend, and help my future self be a little less neurotic about money. I'll try to break this down in 3 simple steps that anyone can do to grow your wealth that doesn't involve getting a second job or selling your soul on Craigslist. We're trying to keep things minimal here. Step 1, be mindful of your spending. The first thing that everyone needs to understand when it comes to building wealth is that it's not about how much money you make, it's about what you do after that direct deposit hits your checking account. If you're making $50,000 a year, let's say, your financial goals might seem insurmountable compared to someone making $100,000. But if that person making $100,000 is spending $95,000 of it, and you're only spending $40,000, which one of you is further along to building wealth? The easiest way to make more money is to save more money. I like to say that a dollar saved is a dollar earned. And in order to do that, we need to know exactly how much we are spending and how much of that we really need to be spending. A simple way to do this is to look at your transactions multiple times a week, which is so easy now with every bank having their own app, and download one of the many budget apps out there. These apps are a great way of linking all your accounts and credit cards into one place so you can see exactly how much you have, how much you owe, and how much you're spending. Or if you prefer not to be giving out a bunch of personal info to an app, you can also make a spreadsheet on your computer or on your phone and list out all your usual monthly bills and expenses and come up with a total of the bare minimum you need to be spending. Once you actually see the difference between how much you're spending and how much of that is really necessary, it becomes a lot easier to cut back on your leisure spending and to see where else you can make sacrifices to save more money, like living at home when you're 25 so you can save on rent. Step 2, use credit cards. Dave Ramsey would yell at me for this if he had any idea who I was, but with the prevalence of credit cards that have no annual fee and offer big sign-up bonuses and great cash back deals, it's actually hurting you when you pay with cash or debit because you're missing out on free money and an opportunity to increase your credit score. Having multiple cards can be beneficial, but to keep things minimal and simple, just getting one credit card and making all of your regular purchases on it can make a huge difference in growing your wealth. There are many free cards out there, but I'd recommend just applying for a cashback card from whichever bank you use for your checking account. This way you're more likely to be approved since they already know about you. You only have to use one app for both of your accounts, and the process of paying it off is a lot more streamlined. Make all of your normal purchases on it, and pay each transaction off immediately when it posts. There's no sense in waiting until the end of the month for your billing statement. Paying off each purchase immediately helps to keep your utilization rate low, and unless you're in a dire financial situation, you should never be using your credit card to pay for anything that you couldn't afford to pay off immediately from your checking account. Step 3, invest the rest. I'm guilty of a bit too much leisure spending when it comes to clothes, but over the past year I've been improving on that and investing my extra money instead. I know investing can be really overwhelming, so let's try to stick to the minimalist theme here. If your job offers a 401k match, always invest up to the amount that they match. Just like cashback credit cards, this is literally free money. If they don't offer one, or if you're self-employed, you can open up your own retirement account, like the widely loved Roth IRA. If not being able to touch your money until retirement makes you feel a little uneasy, you can open up a standard brokerage account instead. For example, Robinhood is easy to apply for, it has a simple interface and you can buy fractional shares, but you might want to opt for something more well-known and stable like TD Ameritrade or Vanguard. Whatever type of account you have, take the guesswork out of it for yourself. All you have to do is invest regularly each month into an index fund that tracks the whole stock market and let your money work for you. With the market growing on average of close to 10% per year, If you invested $500 a month for 30 years, you'd have over $1 million even though you only put in a total of $180,000. Remember that your life isn't just about the present, and living below your means when you're younger and you have less responsibilities can set you up for long-term financial gains. Financial freedom, financial independence, the ability to live our whole lives without ever having to think about money, we all want that, right? Well, the path to get there can be daunting and requires us to think about money. For those of us who are not uber talented and didn't get a great job right out of school, or don't have a big inheritance to fall back on, the idea of reaching this can sometimes seem impossible. But no matter our circumstances, no matter how far along we are in our wealth building journey, we can all take the same simple steps to have a healthier relationship with money and set ourselves up for more financial freedom in the present and future. Again, I don't claim to be an expert on any of this, and doing your own research is always important. But I just wanted to share some of the simple, minimal things that I've been doing to get myself closer to where I want to be financially. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.